Library catalog data is often full of geographic references. Geographic information can be embedded in library catalog records in many ways, including geographic subject headings, places of publication, title and note keywords, and even sometimes as geographic coordinates. However, text-based catalog search systems don't fully leverage the potential of this geographic information for spatial searching. One of the goals of this library lab project was to geocode a test set of 1700 Hollis catalog records, explicitly relating geographic information in the bibliographic record to latitude and longitude points on a map, thus enabling geospatial search and discovery. This demo will highlight features of the test system as well as present two potential use case scenarios for spatial searching. Let's take as our first scenario the topic of World's Fair. Here's a Hollis catalog search for World's Fair. There are lots of text results to scroll through. It is difficult to search through these results to identify geographically relevant resources. If you click on the region facet, there is an alphabetical list of associated geographies. But what if we were only interested in World's Fairs taking place in Europe? We'd have to click through every European city in this list where we knew a World's Fair was held, and then view the results separately by individual geographic keyword. Alternately, searching the terms Europe with World's Fair in Hollis will provide a very limited set of useful search results, missing many relevant resources, because the geographic keywords in the bibliographic data are typically more specific than the term Europe. Now here's the same search using a geographic search interface. In the query box, type World's Fair and click Search. Here you can see there is data all over the globe related to World's Fair. The red markers represent the most relevant resources for the search, which are also shown in the results table of contents list below. And areas where other resources exist are represented by the heat map, indicated in grayish background colors. The darker the area of the map, the more references there are in that area. Because geographic keywords in the bibliographic record have been geocoded and placed in context on a map interface, setting a bounding box around Europe by holding down the Shift key while using the mouse to click and drag a box around that area, I can zoom in and limit my search of World's Fair to Europe. Hovering over an icon, you'll notice that the associated bibliographic information is highlighted in the table of contents below. This marker shows a publication about the Brussels World's Fair. Clicking through some of these other icons, we can begin to see where World's Fairs have taken place in Europe and what sort of resources exist for each location. Clicking on the Paris icon will retrieve a list of Paris results with individual bibliographic information, including search relevancy ranking and the term from the Hollis record that was geocoded. Clicking on a title opens the Hollis bibliographic record. Looking at the bibliographic record in Hollis, you can see where Paris as a keyword has been geocoded. Clicking the X closes the pop-up list for Paris. You can reset the map by clicking on the Reset button and zoom back to the full global extent by clicking on the globe icon. Now you're ready for a new search. A second scenario highlights how exploring data geographically might be used to discover new relationships between topics. Let's say I'm interested in the Civil War general Joshua Chamberlain. If I search his name, I retrieve several results. Notice the cluster of markers in the northeastern United States. This is not surprising, as I know that Joshua Chamberlain was a general for the Union during the American Civil War. However, notice all these markers in Maine. If I'm unfamiliar with Joshua Chamberlain's history, I might zoom into Maine and start clicking on some of these references. You'll notice when hovering over one marker, sometimes other related markers are also highlighted on the screen. This happens when more than one geography is associated with the same record. You'll notice on this record that all these geographies listed under GeoRefs have been geocoded on the map. Exploring these records, one would quickly learn that Chamberlain was from Maine and that after the Civil War he was elected Maine's governor and then later became president of Bowdoin College. Humans and ideas are not typically tied to one location. a mapping discovery system can be a valuable tool for quickly visualizing and discovering these sorts of human geographic relationships. Now imagine that our spatial discovery system offered the option of displaying related facets as we're now used to seeing in the new Hollis system. What if every time you zoomed and moved around the map interface, the result set would repopulate along with any associated facets? The facets could not only be used to narrow your search results, but also to discover associations between topics. So, for example, with Joshua Chamberlain, if you were to highlight Maine in the map interface, you might see facets like governors and Bowdoin, while if you were to move the map extent near Gettysburg, you might see a different set of related facets, like Little Round Top, where he fought, or Robert E. Lee, who surrendered to Chamberlain at Appomattox. Using a geographic interface to explore data would provide a new and valuable way of discovering geographic associations between two or more topics not available in a traditional text-based library catalog. Please explore the 2 demo systems provided on this webpage. Use the feedback form provided to let us know what you think. We're very interested in hearing about your ideas about potential use cases and library applications that could be integrated with a geospatial catalog search and discovery system.